Venturing into the woods alone at night can be terrifying. But what happens when you encounter someone or something you'd rather never meet? Tonight, we're diving into the 6 most disturbing camping encounters ever recorded. These clips will make you think twice about ever stepping into the woods alone again. Let's delve straight into this first disturbing encounter. 8 months ago, a Reddit account named Truth is Fiction ET posted a video titled as Beast of Gum Hill, which included the evening of April 5, 2009. In the video, what began as a routine creek crossing would become the most chilling moment of his outdoor adventures. The video begins with Travis's ATV making a significant splash as he enters the water, the sound echoing through the otherwise silent forest. Without hesitation, he pushes forward on his red four-wheeler, carefully maneuvering through the shallow creek, completely unaware of what lurks in the dense forest surrounding him. As Travis continues navigating over the rocky terrain and small waterfalls, the camera remains focused on the challenging path ahead. Then, at precisely 14 seconds into the footage, something extraordinary happens. A dark, massive figure can be seen moving swiftly between the trees on the creek's edge. The alleged wood booger passes by, while Travis remains completely focused on controlling his ATV through the difficult terrain. The moment seems to pass unnoticed by Travis, who abruptly stops his four-wheeler in the middle of the creek.
What was that?
When slowed down and enhanced, the figure appears to be approximately 7 to 8 feet tall, moving with an unusual gait, unlike any known wildlife in the region. Its massive shoulders and distinctive profile have led Bigfoot researchers to classify this as a Class A sighting. Although Travis left the location shortly after stopping, one unsettling question remains. What exactly was that figure moving through the trees? Was it truly the legendary Beast of Gum Hill that locals have whispered about for generations? Or is there a more conventional explanation waiting to be discovered? One thing's for certain. This creek crossing at Gum Hill has earned its place among the most compelling pieces of evidence in modern Bigfoot research. If this already gave you chills, brace yourself for the next spine-chilling video. Meet Kev, an outdoor enthusiast who documents his adventures as he explores the wilderness. Through his videos on his channel, Kev Goes, he takes viewers along on his journeys into nature, sharing both the practical skills and emotional experiences that come with outdoor exploration. While Kev has been building his camping skills gradually, this particular adventure would push him to face fears he didn't know he had, completely alone, with nothing but a tarp between him and the wild. On a warm spring day in Manitoba, Canada, Kev arrived at a remote forest location, ready to attempt his first solo tarp camping experience.
This week, I'm doing something awesome. I'm solo tarp tenting for the first time. I just got a tarp. You saw in my last video, I did a little lunch break tarp camp, but this time I'm out in the woods, solo camping, and I'm hoping that I can portray the feeling to you of what it's like sleeping under a tarp for the first time, like the feelings about it all, you know?
The video began with Kev explaining his mission, not just to camp, but to capture the authentic feeling of sleeping under a tarp for the first time. Kev followed an old logging road, now used as an ATV trail, venturing deeper into the forest as evening approached.
I'm heading down this forest road. It's an old logging road. It's sandy. It's used as an ATV trail now. I'm gonna look for a nice area, set up camp.
After finding what he considered the perfect camping spot, he immediately began setting up his tarp tent. The site was secluded, surrounded by tall trees with soft moss underfoot. Idyllic, yet increasingly isolated as the sun began to set.
I made it. It's after 7. I was hoping to have a coffee, but Not going to be able to have coffee, otherwise I'm not going to be able to sleep. It's too late for that. So I'm going to get cooking supper soon. But here it is. The tarp is enclosed totally, and I just love that. Yeah, just because the bears are out and everything, I thought it'd be safer just to eat a little further away from the tarp and everything like that from the camp. I maybe even could have went a little further, I'm not sure. But I am gonna hang all of my food related stuff too from a branch after. Right when I'm done this, I'm gonna take care of that because I just don't want them around camp, and I don't want them to take my food either. So
As darkness fell, Kev made a critical decision that revealed his underlying concerns. He chose to cook dinner approximately 100 yards away from his sleeping area. He had in his mind their bears might already be active and searching for food. With night fully settled, Kev retreated to his tarp tent, where the psychological aspects of solo camping began to manifest.
it's dark now. I want to show you my bed setup. So I've got my ground mat here, and then I've got my Gear Doctor pad. I've got my Mountain House sleeping bag. So this is a mummy sleeping bag. And then I've just got another sleeping bag over top. So I've got room for my bag over there. And then you can see that you've got quite a bit of room in here for the sleeping bag, and I can stretch right out. So it's so quiet.
His senses heightened to an almost uncomfortable degree, with the profound silence creating its own form of sensory disorientation. Every small sound caught his attention, often causing him to freeze before realizing he himself was the source of the noise. As Kev prepared for sleep, he shared his mixed emotions about the experience.
Yeah, so far it's been pretty good. Haven't been too worried about much. When I first got here, it took me a bit to get used to some of the sounds out here, like the trees were swaying and making weird noises and stuff like that, just ones I wasn't sure of. And then, I thought I heard something off in the distance, but I don't think it was anything. I think it was just trees or something. I'm not sure, but that was like when I first got here. I'm feeling pretty good about this because it's a tent, and I'll be closing like this right off, and it'll give me a sense of security, false sense of security, I'm sure. It's first time tarp camping, and I don't feel like I would have too much of a problem even leaving this open, although I'm not going to because I think it's going to get moist tonight, so I am going to close this and save myself some moisture problems.
The swaying trees created strange noises he couldn't immediately identify, causing moments of tension. Yet he remained determined, noting that the enclosed tarp gave him a sense of security, false though it might be. Then came the moment that would define his experience. Deep in the night, Kev's camera captured something.
I don't know if you heard that, but that was a weird sound, man. I do not know what that was.
It was a chilling, unidentifiable sound, and his reaction was immediate and genuine, as it was a moment of primal fear disrupting any sense of security he had managed to build. Morning arrived with the forest coming alive around 6:15 a.m., bringing welcome relief from the tension of the night.
It's about 6:15, and the forest has been coming alive, so I guess that's my cue. I'm going to get up and make some coffee, and then I'll talk about how everything was over the night. And if you,
As Kev prepared coffee in his makeshift cup, he reflected on his broken sleep and heightened state of alertness throughout the night.
I thought I heard something over there. That's one of the things you got to get used to solo camping. This is only my second time ever solo camping. Last night, getting used to the sounds and everything like that. And then for a while there, all sounds stopped. But, the trees creak, and sometimes they creak in a weird way, and you don't know that it's necessarily a tree. And so I was definitely on guard last night, It was a broken sleep for sure. And I heard that crazy sound, which again, I hope the audio picked that up. And if you know what it is, please let me know. So that freaked me out at first.
Despite keeping his knife unsheathed beside him for protection, he acknowledged the limited defense it would offer against a genuine threat. Despite the challenges, Kev expressed no regrets about his adventure.
It was a really good night, a great experience, and I'm really happy that I did it. To go solo camping is weird, and there's always that thing like, maybe I shouldn't go, and I'm really glad that I pushed myself. And that's what you have to do in life, right? When you're going to gain experience.
In fact, he used the experience to share a philosophical reflection on personal growth and the necessity of pushing beyond comfort zones to develop new skills and perspectives. His night, alone in the wilderness, had become more than just a camping trip. It was a metaphor for confronting fears and expanding one's capabilities. As Kev packed up his camp and prepared to return to civilization, he left viewers with a lingering question about the strange sound that had disturbed his night. Had it been a wild animal, another human, or something else entirely? The mystery remained unsolved, adding an element of the unknown that perfectly captured the essence of wild camping. Beautiful, yet unpredictable. Peaceful, yet potentially dangerous. Kev's journey reminds us that sometimes the most profound adventures are not about conquering nature, but about confronting the fears within ourselves. And in those quiet moments of vulnerability beneath the vast night sky, we discover strengths we never knew we possessed. The next video tells an almost similar story of spending a night in a hauntingly mysterious location. Meet Tommy, the creator behind the YouTube channel Oreo Speedwagon RT. Through his videos, he takes viewers on journeys across the country, showcasing the reality of van life with his partner Rachel and their dog Badger. While most of his adventures are filled with breathtaking landscapes and heartwarming moments, one night would change his perspective on the safety of remote camping forever. On this particular evening, Tommy had already sensed something was different about their campsite.
We've been out here a couple of nights. Been very quiet, very normal feeling. And since everyone's left except us, it's felt different. It has felt more, it's almost felt oppressive.
After the other campers departed, the atmosphere shifted dramatically, becoming almost oppressive in a way Tommy couldn't fully explain. Despite being a van life channel rather than a paranormal one, Tommy couldn't ignore the unsettling feeling that surrounded them.
And obviously we're not a paranormal channel. We're not a ooh, spooky crap channel. It's just not what we do. We're van life. So I was listening to a football game.
The first unusual occurrence happened while Tommy was listening to a football game from inside the van.
In the van, the window was up because it's chilly, and it sounded like I heard something scream down here. Could have been a bobcat or whatever. I don't know. Who knows?
The sound resembled a scream coming from somewhere in the darkness. Being naturally curious, Tommy decided to investigate rather than ignore the sound.
I'm not the kind, though, to just sit and wonder what it is. It's just not in my nature. And he seems okay now. But a while ago, there were two specific areas, and they're actually back off over here somewhere, that he was staring at, and his ears would pop up.
Even their dog Badger had noticed something unusual, staring intently at specific areas of the woods with his ears perked up. The eerie silence of the location only amplified Tommy's unease.
So quiet. Like you can't hear anything. So I walked down there a pretty good ways, didn't see anything. I don't know what I heard.
After walking a good distance, he still couldn't identify what had made the sound. Tommy's description of the noise was particularly chilling.
I don't want to say a roar because then people are going to start thinking, well, I'm thinking it's something else. I don't know what it is, but it was almost like a, don't laugh when I say this, the T-Rex in Jurassic Park. I don't think there are any T-Rexes out here, but I mean, I've been wrong before, you know, but I just don't feel like there's going to be any T-Rexes or velociraptors out here.
The comparison to a prehistoric creature underscored how unusual and frightening the sound had been. As night fell, Tommy captured what appears to be the mysterious sound on camera.
Can you hear this? Yeah, do not know what that, I don't know what that was.
The recording leaves viewers questioning what could possibly make such an otherworldly noise in the remote wilderness. Tommy and Rachel remained at their campsite, with Rachel initially skeptical about the sounds.
About 45 minutes, I don't know, 40 minutes. Rachel, I told her I'd been hearing something, so she wanted to hear. She wanted to know if she could hear something, so we've been sitting here. No, there's nothing out here. Maybe so.
But supernatural elements would prove to be the least of Tommy's concerns.
All right, so I just woke up to somebody trying to get in our van. It's like 2:30 now. The van moved, heard somebody try to open the door, and got up and turned the side light on.
In the middle of the night, Tommy was awakened by the terrifying sensation of someone attempting to enter their van. The aftermath of the attempted break-in showed genuine fear.
And I got outside, and I could hear the steps, or I could hear the vehicle. I'm sorry, I can't talk because I'm kind of shaking up right now. I could hear the tires rolling on gravel, and they went up this way and then made a left, and I could see tail lights. Then the tail lights went off. I didn't see him move.
Tommy described hearing a vehicle leaving the area, its tires crunching on gravel before stopping briefly in the distance. What makes this encounter particularly disturbing is the brazen nature of the attempt.
A long ways away from anybody, and somebody trying to get in the van when it's obviously somebody's camping here. You can see we're camping. And yeah, somebody just come and brazenly try to get in.
The intruder had clearly seen signs that people were camping there, but tried to enter anyway. The decision to leave immediately was the only logical choice.
Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and leave. Yeah.
Their hasty departure speaks volumes about the genuine fear they experienced that night. While strange noises in the woods might be attributed to wildlife or the imagination, an attempted break-in represents a very real danger that many van lifers fear. Tommy and Rachel were fortunate to escape unharmed, but the incident serves as a stark reminder of the vulnerabilities that come with remote camping. One question remains unanswered: who tried to enter their van that night, and what were their intentions? Was it merely an attempt to steal their belongings, or was something more sinister at play? We may never know, but one thing's certain: Tommy and Rachel will likely approach remote camping with much more caution in the future. The wilderness might hold many mysteries, but human threats remain the most dangerous of all. This chilling encounter serves as a warning to all who venture into isolated locations. Sometimes the greatest dangers aren't the ones that lurk in the shadows, but those that boldly approach your doorstep. If you thought this encounter was disturbing, stay tuned for our next analysis of unexplained footage that will make you question everything you thought you knew about scary videos. Meet Tommy and Rachel, the creators behind the YouTube channel Oreo Speedwagon RT. Through their videos, they take viewers on immersive journeys through America's wilderness areas, documenting their van life experiences. From serene landscapes to remote camping spots, their explorations showcase the beauty and occasional mystery of outdoor living. With their dog Badger as their loyal companion, they create engaging content for their audience. But one day, at Tishomingo Wildlife Management Area, they would discover just how unpredictable and unnerving these adventures could truly become. On what seemed like an ordinary day, Tommy and Rachel arrived at Tishomingo Wildlife Management Area, ready for another peaceful night in their van. Armed with their camera and accompanied by their dog Badger, they were expecting nothing more than the usual wildlife sounds and scenic views.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Here at the Tishomingo Wildlife Management Area, refuge, home for the rehabilitated, I don't know. And got a little creepy out here last time. But here's the thing. Badger.
The video begins with Tommy explaining their location while immediately noting something unusual, their dog's behavior. As Tommy speaks, the unsettling atmosphere slowly becomes apparent, setting the stage for the mysterious experience ahead.
He's running around being Badger, obviously. But he's been very skittish since we got here.
Yeah.
Like, he'll just take off running and not like doing zoomies running like.
Yeah.
No, he's doing that.
Yeah, now he'll come down here.
But he comes down this little ravine down here, and
He won't go any further.
no, and then he'll like get all skittish and run off.
They first noticed Badger acting strangely, running away from certain areas and refusing to venture into specific parts of the woods. His behavior was notably different from their previous visits.
Obviously. But he's been very skittish since we got here.
Yeah.
Like, he'll just take off running, doing zoomies running like.
Yeah.
No, he's doing that.
Yeah, now he'll come down here.
But he comes down this little ravine down here.
Without fully understanding what was happening, they continued observing their surroundings, trying to pinpoint what might be causing their dog's unusual reaction. The moment they realized something was truly off, a sense of unease crept over them. The woods were unnaturally quiet.
We've been out in the woods a lot. We know the sounds. What we're hearing are not regular sounds. And usually you can hear birds, you can hear critters. But when you're hearing other noises and you're not hearing critters.
At that moment, the strangest aspect of their situation became clear. While they could hear occasional sounds like a duck, the normal forest creatures were silent. The contrast was unsettling, leaving them questioning whether something unseen was causing both the silence and their dog's fear.
Do that? I mean, do you feel like that, honey?
What?
Like we need to go somewhere else?
No.
Yeah.
It's just strange sound.
Yeah, like I said, we haven't heard critters. I mean, we heard a duck, but we haven't heard critters.
I just heard something.
Yeah, it's... I don't know.
Maybe we're freaking ourselves out.
Well, I mean, I'm not trying to. I don't let myself get freaked out.
Yeah.
Because I know for 99.99 things that you hear, that there's a
As they continued their stay, the area grew even eerier. Tommy mentions hearing strange noises across the lake that didn't match any wildlife sounds they were familiar with.
noises across the lake. I'll walk down here and see.
But then, Rachel heard something that Tommy didn't. Something that made the already tense atmosphere even more disturbing, as if the wilderness held dangers they couldn't identify.
Now he'll come over here, but he won't go over there.
Yeah, over there, he's like, nope. See, so,
Yeah.
you know, we have no problem running off, or not running off. We have no problem starting the van and driving out of here and going to find another place to stay. I don't feel like we're gonna have to do that. I mean, do you feel like that, honey?
What?
Like we need to go somewhere else?
Tommy couldn't shake his concern. He needed to investigate further despite his growing unease. Determined to document their experience, he decided to turn on their LED lights and check outside the van, hoping to catch a glimpse of whatever was causing the disturbance.
So let me turn the LED lights on real quick. Well, all good so far, I guess.
What happened next intensified their fears. Their dog Badger, normally adventurous and playful, climbed onto Rachel's lap, clearly terrified of something outside. Both Tommy and Rachel grew increasingly uncomfortable as they realized Badger was staring fixedly in one specific direction.
So I locked Badger out of the van because we're sitting out here. And this boy got up in Rachel's whole lap. He's afraid of... Well, he's staring in one specific direction right now.
A sudden sound near their van sent another wave of anxiety through them, and the realization sank in. Something wasn't right, and they needed to consider their options.
We were on the phone and found another wildlife area, actually pretty close to the one we were at, so we decided to...
Although they stayed through the night, they ultimately decided to relocate to a different wildlife area.
We were on the phone and found another wildlife area, actually pretty close to the one we were at, so we decided to...
One troubling question remained. What had caused those strange sounds and their dog's extreme reaction? Was it just wildlife they hadn't encountered before? Or was something more ominous present in those woods? The mystery of that night remains unexplained.
Testament to where we said we messed up, just headed out to the Rockies, because this is deep in here, and it's literally 25-30 miles from our home base. The area around your home base, close to you, you don't have to travel 1,000 miles to have your Instagram pictures.
Wildlife encounters might be expected in remote areas, but there's something particularly unsettling when even animals sense danger that humans can't immediately perceive. Fortunately, Tommy and Rachel's mobile lifestyle allowed them to simply drive away when things felt wrong.
Came down here. Well, the fish here have just been jumping all day. Of course, it's raining right now, so it's kind of slowed everything down. But one thing about this rain, I love the sound of rain on the forest floor. I love the, you know, like rain on a tent is so comforting.
Their experience serves as a reminder that sometimes our animal companions' instincts may be our best warning system in the wilderness.
Rains in a van, you know it. But it's just so nice to sleep when it's raining. So anyway.
That's all for today, folks. If you want to see more of this creepy content, click on the video on screen.